Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is VirtualNunchucks, and this is a Tuesday video, although I did record it on a Monday. But this is going up on Tuesday, so I hope the video finds you well. For those of you who missed it, or didn't get a chance to see it, you need to go back and you need to watch all of the Gamescom stuff from last night, or yesterday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. They actually aired it around noon, Eastern Standard Time, yesterday. But it's Gamescom's 2019, so you need to, we're going to go over the information, but because of copyright and because of the way they've redone their fair use stuff here on YouTube and all that stuff, I'm going to use this as my background. I'm going to give you the information, but if you want to see the actual footage, if you want to see the actual gameplay and things like that, then you need to go and you need to rewatch the event itself, or at least find someone who can air the trailers and things like that, because I'm a small YouTuber and there's no way in the world they're going to let me do that without getting in trouble, because I'm not a major media outlet. So here we go. All right. So if you guys completely missed it, or just want to know what's going on Gamescom 2019, the opening night was a big one. First of all, I'm an old gamer, and I remember playing Comanche way back in the day. And again, my name is VirtualNunchucks, in case you missed that part. And way back in the day, we played Comanche, which was a chopper game, obviously a Comanche chopper, on PC a long time ago. It was announced that Comanche is being rebooted. It is a team-based online game. It is, let's see, how many people did they say it was? I forget. Did they say, I think it said 5v5, I think. But anyway, it's you can sign up for early access right now if you type in Comanche Gamescom or something like that. It'll bring you up to the website. You can sign up for early access, you know, and kind of get the sign up for pre-alpha and all that stuff. And I think they said they even going to do a beta, which would be really cool if they do. So I'm excited about that. It's one of the games from my childhood, and I'm really excited to play it and see it, or at least, you know, if I don't buy it, I at least want to be part of the alpha to see if it's any good, see if it's anything that I would like to play. I believe it is a PC-only game, but you can certainly check that out when you go to sign up for the alpha or the early access. All right. And what was really funny about this whole thing, Gamescom, they announced Need for Speed Heat, okay, which is good. I want what they're talking about here. They're talking about bringing the customizations back, to paint jobs, vinyls, putting spoilers on your car, you know, rims on your car. It's kind of like a Need for Speed Most Wanted thing from way back in the day, PlayStation 2, Xbox, I want to say 360, but I'm not real sure. I don't think it's 360, but but you know, it kind of reminds me of that vibe, the Need for Speed Most Wanted game from way back in the day. It's supposed to be open world, and the cops are coming back, and it has a day-night cycle. All of this stuff really sounds really cool. You can squad up with your friends, and you can have your friends and you can have a garage, and you guys can trick out your rides however you want to do it. Have races, both day and night cycle. The cops at night especially get a little crazy. The choppers dropping spike strips and all that stuff is coming back. That all sounds really cool. The thing that scares me about this game is that you know how EA is with their microtransactions, and with all the amount of customization you can do for your car, and you can customize your avatar, you can customize just about everything in this game. It scares me from their microtransaction standpoint, because you know how they want to monetize everything in the world they possibly can with FIFA, with Madden, with all this other stuff. So I'm really excited about the game. It kind of reminds me of old school Need for Speed. And I'm really excited. It just scares me from a microtransaction standpoint, but I'm going to keep an eye on this game just because it sounds really cool. It is supposed to be coming out, I believe, this year. So either this year or early next year. It says, they also said about it that The police have adaptive AI, so like they will adapt to certain situations that you present them with, and they'll learn from your behavior and try to cut you off and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. Yes, release of November 8th on that game. They also announced. If you are familiar with the Kerbal Space Program on PC, they have announced Kerbal Space Program 2 for Xbox, PC, and PS4. It is coming in 2020, so I'm excited because I've watched my son. He has it on PC and he plays it, and it's very, very funny. It's a very interesting game to watch being played. I have not played it myself, but he plays it quite a lot. He likes it, and it looks to be very, very funny. So I'm kind of excited about it coming to consoles in early next year. Bandai Namco basically introduced a very creepy Little Nightmares 2 trailer. So if you're into the Little Nightmares series, which I am not, I up until I saw it, I'd never even heard of Little Nightmares. But Little Nightmares 2 has been announced. Let's see if I have any more information besides the creepy trailer. It was really, really creepy. It's for PS4, PC, and all consoles, so it's even coming to the Switch. I did not catch a release date for it because, again, I had trouble with my stream because they were streaming halfway across the world. So I do not have a date for that, but you can certainly look it up. Little Nightmares 2 is coming out for all platforms, including PC. And it's done by Bandai Namco. All right, so let's see what else was announced. Oh, there was so much stuff. And again, if you guys did not see this and you want to just Google announcements, Gamescom 2019, opening night live, whatever you want to Google it, it'll all come up, and I'm sure there's going to be somebody that puts a compilation of all this stuff out for you guys. But again, I'm not going to do it because I'm little, I'm small, and I'm going to get copyright struck, and I know it. Okay. Dreams won Best Original Game. The game that Sony put out that you can create different games, game levels, and be all creative with all kinds of game characters and stuff. Won Best Original Game during the night. I am very excited to kind of see that. I want to kind of get a hold of that and play it a little bit, but I don't want to really play. I'm hoping somebody I know has it or something so I can maybe sit down and play it to check it out, because I don't really want to pay for something that I'm not going to enjoy, but everybody seems to enjoy it. So I mean, you know, that's cool for them. I hope that it succeeds because it seems to be a really cool game, and like I said, I really want to check that out. Predator Hunting Grounds, they showed off a little bit more gameplay of that. They announced, of course, 2020 release. It's going to be 4 versus 1 multiplayer, so you're going to have a team of 4 playing against a team of 1 who is the Predator, of course. And your idea is to see who can wipe out who. And again, they showed it off. It still looks totally awesome. Still looks like something that I would totally want to play with my friends, family, or something. What I didn't see and what I kind of wish that they would give us an idea of is if it's going to be split screen, if you can play it on the couch, or if it's just online only. But at this point in time, either way, it looks completely awesome. Monster Hunter Iceborne, September 6th release date, and they showed off a little bit more gameplay of them taking on a ice dragon, or at least that's what it looked like. It was completely awesome. I still have not played Monster Hunter World, and I know you guys are going to hate me for that, but I have so many games that I want to play that I just haven't got the opportunity to play yet. And it's on my list of things I want to play along with The Witcher 3. And don't hate me on that one either, please, because, you know, like I said, there's just so many good games out that you just can't catch them all. And I the more I see of Iceborne and the more I see of Monster Hunter, I'm just like, that is probably the coolest thing ever. So it's going to be out on September the 6th. You know, so if you haven't already, please check it out. One of the weirdest things to come out of this night, or this event, was Cycle Pro, the Cycle Pro, which is really strange. It says Cycle Pro, but it's the Cycle is what it is. And my autocorrect tried to make it Psycho Pro Pop, but it's PvP competition. It's like a quest shooter, and quest shooter, and it's going to be free to play. I do not have a release date on that, again, because my stream was acting all dumb, but it looks like basically a really crazy sci-fi cycle. You're on some kind of power cycle and you do all kinds of crazy stuff, and it looks really, really cool. Might have to check it out because it's supposed to be free to play. So if you want to check that out on the footage, go ahead and look up a bigger YouTuber, or at least somebody that's a media outlet, so you can see that footage. And again, it burns me up that I can't do it because I'm very passionate about what I do, but I can't show any footage because they'll copyright strike me. Even if I do claim fair use. So we're just being real here. They showed off a trailer for Life is Strange 2. It is completely, totally strange. Forgive me, but that's exactly how I felt. Showed off a young boy who looked like he got injured. He had an eye patch over his eye for the entire time. They showed him with a gun. They showed him being chased by what looked like bullies. They showed all kinds of stuff in the trailer. It was kind of like a montage and kind of like a story-driven trailer. It looks to be completely awesome. I do know that I did play a little bit of Life is Strange 1, and I found it to be very, very well written. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens there. They showed off... What do they call it? Okay. They showed off a game called Humankind. It basically reminds me of a Civilization clone, and I'm sorry, developers, but that's what you remind me of. Basically, you can take Humankind, you can rewrite history however you want to, so you can have... They showed off a gentleman playing some kind of weird, like, organ DJ kind of thing in a space station, and then they showed off you building up your town and your city and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with it. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's due out in 2020. It does look cool. I'm a fan of Civilization, so I like those kind of games. Like Civilization and like the city builder games and stuff like that. I kind of like that. So I'm kind of excited about that one. I kind of want to follow that one a little bit, see what they got going on. They announced again that in September, Borderlands 3 is coming out. They also announced that Ice-T, for some reason, is going to voice one of the characters, which, if you know anything about Ice-T, he likes to do a couple of movies here and there. And they said that Circle of Slaughter will return from Borderlands 1, and they're going to do a new kind of like survival game mode towards the end game and stuff called Proving Grounds. And it looked to be really, really awesome. I still have not finished all of the Borderland games. Please do not at me about that one either. But it is what it is. Again, there's just so many games that came out this generation that I'm trying to catch them all. Well, of course, my phone rings while I'm recording a video. Hang on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. It was my wife. So when Virtual Mom calls, you always answer the phone. Yeah. So anyway, she's on her way home, so I'm going to try to get this done for you guys. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Humankind is releasing on 2020. Again, it looks like a Civilization clone and stuff, but again, I'm very, very excited about that. Borderlands 3, we discussed that. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Rockfish Studios, the guys behind Everspace, announced... Everspace 2 with this awesome trailer that looked totally, totally cool. If you're into space combat at all, if you're into sci-fi at all, if you're into Everspace, they announced a 2021 release date for Everspace 2, so that is a real thing. They also announced, and again, it was wall-to-wall stuff for 2 hours, guys, so That's why I'm going through this like I am. They also announced CD Projekt Red announced their Witcher 3, I think it is, Switch title for October 15th release date. They showed off some of the actual. They showed off a trailer and some gameplay on the Switch. And yes, the graphics are downgraded from like the PS4 and the Xbox One and all that stuff, but I didn't expect anything less for the Switch. But at the same time, it did still looked absolutely gorgeous considering that it's on the Switch. And it is something that if you really want to play it on the Switch, you now can. And I am very impressed that they were able to put that on the console itself. This is the one that I felt really, really bad about the developers, because say what you want to about the publishers and the parent companies and the stuff about microtransactions and all this stuff. The developers care about their games, and there are a lot of people that care about their games, and you can tell that by the way they talk about them and different things like that. And I always feel bad, but Jeff Keighley announces that they're going to talk about FIFA 20. Okay, pauses so that people can clap, and then there's nothing. The audience didn't boo, they didn't clap, they didn't do anything but sit there. And then the developers came out. He tried to hype it up a little bit more, talk about what they were going to do. They're introducing a story mode. They're introducing like street soccer, where you basically play in fenced-in, Europeans will say football courts and stuff like that, and they're going to introduce a story mode and stuff like that. But the problem that I have with it is, and this goes back to the fact that Madden and FIFA and all that are just updated rosters. The gaming engine looks absolutely horrendous because they don't take enough time to update the graphic engine. They don't take enough time to really make it stand out. And you can really tell if you take a look at the FIFA 20 footage that they showed at this particular opening night. You'll see what I'm talking about. But it really makes me sad because the developers care about their games. I know they do, but with this yearly cycle that they're on, and the reason nobody cares about FIFA or Madden or anything like that is because right now the surprise mechanics and all that kind of mess is still out there and floating around, and they are being disingenuous a little bit. They were more hyped for the Need for Speed Heat thing than they were for this. This was really bad. I mean, there was literally no response whatsoever from the audience, even when he was leaving as a polite gesture towards the developers. There was no response whatsoever. If you are interested in it, though, if you do play it, September 19th, you can have early access to it, and everybody else, I think, is a few days later. Again, I am not a big FIFA fan. I don't even play Madden anymore because of things like that. So for me, it wasn't a big deal, but I really wanted to mention it because it really, first of all, for those of you who do care about it, you need to know about it. And secondly, I just felt really bad for the developers and for Jeff Keighley standing there, and there was like crickets. You could have heard a pin drop. It was bad. There was a game announced called Disintegration, and honestly, it's sci-fi. Think sci-fi hover bikes, pod racing, mech battles. It was just insane. There was all kinds of stuff. And they're gonna have. It's basically. I don't even know how to describe it. The character you're gonna play in the single player version is called, I think, Rome is his name. Yeah, and you're gonna play as a, what do they call it? A swoop bike? No, not a swoop bike. Hover bike. A hover bike pilot. And there's gonna be single player, and there's gonna be a multiplayer component as well. Think it gave me like a Halo combat vibe, Call of Duty vibe, and team-based, shooter vibe. It looked really cool. It is something that, again, I'm into sci-fi. I'm into, sci-fi and Star Trek and Star Wars and anything sci-fi and stuff like that. So for me, it's something that I'm going to keep an eye on. Um, but it's a fairly new title, so there wasn't a whole lot of information, just the trailer about it and a little bit of information about the character. Darksiders Genesis was announced. It's a dungeon crawler this time and not a third person perspective. Um, it was announced that they're going to release it for all platforms, but again, we don't have a release date. And if we did get a release date, I didn't see it because my stream was skipping and all kinds of stuff. So if you're into Darksiders at all and you want to give Genesis a shot, again, it's a dungeon crawler, so it's going to be top down and stuff like that. But if you're into that kind of stuff and you're into that universe, you might be interested in something like that. I will say this, for a dungeon crawler, the graphics look pretty good based on what I saw. So I'll keep my eye on that one as well. And then right after that, they brought out Stadia, people. And again, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I put out an opinion piece about Stadia, and here's something that I mentioned that I heard somebody mention rather while I was watching it, because I had to watch someone else's stream to participate in this. So the concern that I have is, okay, let's say that Stadia doesn't make it, okay, and you buy this exclusive. What happens to your progress? What happens to the product? What happens to the money you've spent? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But having said that, all right, it's basically a little kind of like survivor horror thing where you're a little girl and you're looking for your sister, and all your nightmares and fears come to life while you're looking. You're armed with a flashlight, and you can destroy your enemies with the flashlight and different things like that. But the flashlight also gives your position away, which brings the fears to you. So it looked pretty neat. I'm not even going to lie. There's a lot of ambition with this title. I want Stadia to succeed because I want gaming to be able to progress, and I want gaming to be able to be what it is, and let the developers have their platform and make their dreams a reality. I do really want to see that, so I kind of hope this one does well. It is slated for launch titles, so it'll be available in November when Stadia comes out. I didn't even catch the title of that one. I don't even know if they gave me a title. So, man, I wish I had the name of that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm even trying to Google it while I'm talking, but I can't find it right now. While I'm talking about it, though, Link's Awakening, September 20th release date. It won Best Switch Game of the show so far. So, yeah, I'm excited about this just because I'm an old school Nintendo fan. I'm an old school Zelda fan. I like Zelda in general, the world, the universe they've created. So this one looks pretty cool. I kind of hope this one does well, because honestly, the fact that you have Zelda returning on the Switch at all, and man, I'm just excited. Okay, that's just all there is to it. So that's the September 20th release date. Let's see, what else have we got here? And again, like I said, it was wall-to-wall things, so it's really hard for me to keep up with everything, because it was just so much stuff at one time, for 2 straight hours. It was crazy. Let's see. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, October the 1st. It'll be, again, the base game has gone free to play, because Bungie is now an independent, and but the expansion of Shadowkeep will cost you $35, and it will be available on October the 1st. They showed off a little bit of the gameplay, and again, it looks beautiful. I have played the base game. The base game is completely, it's pretty, and they fixed a lot of the bugs and a lot of the complaints. and the community is really excited about this because Bungie finally gets to do with it what they want without any interference from Activision or anybody else. So I am excited for it. It looks to be completely awesome. They announced another horror game, which honestly, I watched it and I did the same thing one of the streamers did. What in the world is this? It's called Remothered, I kid you not, Remothered Broken Porcelain. It's available for all platforms, and it is basically what they showed was a porcelain doll, I assume, going up to a mirror, and then the mirror basically explodes. The porcelain doll falls to the ground and shatters, and it was really kind of creepy. The whole thing was kind of creepy. But if you're into horror games at all, then you might be interested into it, you know, for it, and you might want to look at it and take a look at it and see if it's something you might be interested in. My goodness, there was a lot of stuff, man. Oh yeah, and they also announced that Insomniac was bought by Sony while they were talking to the people about the Remothered Broken Porcelain. The announcement just came out just a little bit ago. Insomniac Studios has been bought by Sony, so they are now a PlayStation-only studio. That is good news for us that have Spider-Man PS4 and things like that, because maybe they'll progress the story and be able to do a little bit more of what they want. I'm kind of excited about this because Insomniac honestly is a good studio. They are an awesome studio. They whether it's whether it's Spider-Man or whether it's any of the other games that they make, they always put a lot of quality into their games, and I'm excited. I really, really am about this whole thing. So there you go. That's been announced. There was a PS4 exclusive live action story. It's basically a choose your own path thriller, which I'm into thriller movies, so this looks pretty cool. It's out now actually, and it's called Erica. Basically what it is like I said, it's live action, so they filmed it, and then you choose your own adventure basically, but it looks a little more interactive than just pick what she does. Okay, it looks like you can actually touch things in the world, and that's interesting to me. So I'm kind of curious to check it out. It is out now, so I'm gonna give it a look here when I get off of here filming this video, and I'm gonna take a look at it because, like I said, I'm into thriller movies. You know, things like Double Jeopardy and that's, I'm dating myself right there, but you know, The Blacklist and things like that, and Designated Survivor and stuff like that. That stuff interests me, and that's the kind of game that it looks like it is, and so I'm kind of interested to see where that goes and how that works out. They announced a Port Royale 4 slated for a 2020 release date on all platforms. So if you are a Port Royale fan, you will be excited about that. They showed off a trailer. Basically what it was a bottle of, or rather a barrel of rum floating, being blown out of a pirate ship, floating down the thing, being caught, and then somehow being thrown back in the ocean again, and then ending up on the shores of Port Royal. So it is what it is. But if you're into that kind of, again, city building thing and all that kind of stuff, then a strategy game like that, then you'll be excited. I personally love those games, so I'm kind of excited about that. Let's see. Goodness. Like I said, there was just so much stuff. A game called Iron Harvest 1920 is a strategic game set in the Industrial Revolution, or at least that's what it looked like. It looked like a steampunk vibe, Industrial Revolution kind of thing, where you basically try to blow each other out of the water with different machines and things like that, and it looked to be something interesting. And again, I'm into strategy games too, so I might have to keep an eye on that one. And then, oh my gosh, man. Oh yeah. Modern Warfare Gunfight. I should have put this one at the beginning. Modern Warfare Gunfight. The 2v2 mode that we have been seeing on and off. The first multiplayer reveal multiplayer reveal thing that they ever did with all those Twitch streamers and stuff, will be available for open alpha on PlayStation 4 this weekend. It starts on Friday. You do not need a PlayStation Plus subscription. You do not need to have pre-ordered the game to access this. You do not need any of that. So if you want to be involved in Modern Warfare gunfight, which is 2v2, you can do that starting this Friday all weekend long, and they will have 5 maps to play on. So this will be a good idea, or at least a good indication of some of the modes. Obviously, this one mode, this will be, you can decide for yourself if this is something that interests you. If you want to see the rest of the game, you can be involved in the open beta that's coming in September. But they wanted to tease you guys with August 23rd, this weekend again, Friday, for the entire weekend, open to everybody, open alpha. You can play the 2v2 build and see what you think about that. All right. So I should have opened with that, but it is what it is. Okay. So there you go. Again, it'll be 5 maps. Starts this Friday. You do not have to have a PS Plus subscription. You do not have to have a pre-order. You just can download it, play it, and you're good to go starting on Friday. And then, oh my goodness, Hideo Kojima, right in the middle of crunch time for his game, comes out and gives you a little bit more gameplay for Death Stranding. And honestly, I sat through the entire thing. They introduced a new character called Mama, and they introduced Bridge Baby and Dead Man, and they introduced more gameplay, and I'm still, to this day, I'm still sitting here wondering what in the world is this game, okay? Let me give you a rundown of what I understood to go on during this gameplay. Apparently, Mama is a lady who is born on this side, because there are 2 sides. There's this side, and then there's the land of the dead, I guess, or whatever on the other side. I don't know what they're... Again, Hideo Kojima is not forthcoming with details. But apparently, her baby was born on the other side, so therefore... is tied to the other side, but she is tied to her baby on this side in the real world, and cannot leave a certain location, because if she does, she'll cut the umbilical cord, and her baby and her cannot communicate. So basically what we saw was Mama holding an invisible baby, because we can't see them on this side, and the baby interacting with the lights and different things like that. And it was very, very strange. And then they showed off Bridge Baby and Dead Man, which is a character's name for the game. And they gave a big exposition of what Bridge Babies are for. They're so you can connect to the other side. They're born on the other side, but they're born on this side, but they're connected to the other side, and you carry these Bridge Babies around because they are actually in the womb of the people on the other side, but yet they manifest in the real world, and it's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And basically, as long as you have that baby, you can see the BTs and avoid the BTs, which are the big major bad people. Okay, and it's just a bunch of stuff. It's still one of those games where I'm like, what in the world is this? And I do not understand it, but I am so intrigued because it's Hideo Kojima, and come on. He makes great games. He always has. Ever since I was a kid, all I wanted to do was play Metal Gear, because that man has one of the greatest imaginations I have ever seen. And when he puts a story together, it's usually... by the time you see the entire story, you're like, wow, that's like one of the greatest games I've ever played. But in the meantime, it's kind of nuts. They showed off a little bit of open world gameplay where the main character, of course, is going through the world, and they showed off where you make a stop. And the necklace that they've been showing off for several years now is actually called a strand, and they showed him making a delivery. You basically take your necklace off, you have it scanned by equipment, and different things happen, and Anyway, you make the delivery. There's something as mundane as a urine tracker, okay, which is insane. It'll let you know that you have to go to the bathroom, and then your character has to urinate. If they don't urinate, you pee your pants. There's just so much detail, and the world looks so incredibly amazing, and beautiful. The Decima engine that they're using just looks amazing, and I cannot wait to play this game. I cannot wait to figure out what in the world is going on in this game, what in the world's about, what the story is going to be about. I cannot wait. My son's a little creeped out by this game, and I totally get that. But I am intrigued, and I really want to see what they do. Now, that was the only announcement, or the last announcement that they gave. So, that was the last presentation that they made. Hideo Kojima said that they will show off more gameplay at Tokyo Game Show for Death Stranding, and I don't know. I'm just blown away by everything that I see on this list. There's just a lot of stuff. You would think that this, since they're going to be talking about, new consoles coming out next year, 2020, and all that stuff, you would think that the console generation would be winding down and that there wouldn't be a lot of releases. But to be honest with you, it's crazy the amount of stuff that is coming out for next year and the year after that, and there's just so much stuff. So it's still a good time to be a gamer. If you don't have a PS4, if you don't have an Xbox One available to you yet, I don't think it's time to throw away those consoles or slam the brakes on because you want to save up for your next console. I know that's the tendency, but there's just so much stuff coming out, man, that you just got to get on board with, man. I don't care what console you play. It's a good time to be a gamer. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate that you leave me a like rating, as it shows your support for the channel. It also lets other people know where to find my channel, because it lets YouTube algorithm recommend my channel in other places, and I appreciate that. Also, you can leave me a comment. Let me know what game you're looking forward to playing that they announced at Gamescom, and of course, what you're looking forward to. If you still don't understand the Death Stranding trailers and information that we saw today, let me know what you thought. Whatever it is that struck your fancy at Gamescom, just leave me a comment. I'll respond to all of you guys. I usually do. You can follow me on Facebook.com/VirtualNunchucks. You can follow me on Twitter @VNunchucks. And, of course, you can follow me here on YouTube, as well as Twitch.tv/VirtualNunchucks as well. My goodness, that's a lot of stuff. And, again, I would appreciate it if you are new around here, you like gaming content as a whole, if you're interested in reviews, news updates, gameplays and stuff like that, consider subscribing. Turn that red subscription button to gray, and of course hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever content hits the channel. I hope you guys have a great day. We will have more information because more Gamescom stuff is coming out all week long, so I'll keep on top of it as much as I can. And I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you again tomorrow with some more news and with some more information. And hopefully it's all good. I hope. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and we will see you.